Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video. Today we're going to do a character guide on Neon. So my video is getting out probably a little bit later than normal tonight. The reason why is Neon is a brand new character. I am recording this live on stream, so shout out to 90 people watching right now. Thank you guys for your support, really appreciate it. But we had to sit and grind her out, and when you do a new character, it takes a while to get them completely maxed out. I had to do a little bit of summon board grinding, so we're a little bit later than usual here, but the guide is coming out. So in this video, we're going to go ahead and look at Neon's calls, artifacts, and spheres. For those of you unfamiliar with Neon, she is a fire damage dealer with a very important debuff that basically enables rainbow damage, and she's going to enchant the party for fire, true fire enchant, which is really, really cool. So I'll just start off by saying I think Neon is a super cool character and a very fun character. She's definitely not like a must pull. She's the type of character that will fall off probably fairly quickly. I said this before, characters that last a long time are like utility, supports, tanks. Like those are the characters that have a lot of longevity. She's kind of just a generic damage dealer, but she has a unique mechanic that enables rainbow numbers. So that part could age well, right? Her FR condition's very good. So she does have a lot going for her. I do really like her. So let's start by looking at her calls here. So I think that her calls do have some use. So basically her 15 and 35, they're both going to do just fire damage attacks, but they both add a debuff called Fires of Rage, okay? Now, the Fire of Rage debuff by default, basically it does fire resist down, so it imperils, right? And then it does HP damage up. So these types of calls are very good because they enable the party to do more HP damage. This is why Kurisame's been a very popular call. It basically increases the amount of HP damage that the enemies take. Now this is a stacking buff, very much like Kurasame. I would say this could be like kind of the new replacement for Kurasame in some ways, right? So she can get up to a 30% HP damage up. The problem is that her 15 is only going to put 2 to 4 stacks on. So you're not going to get all of that. So you're only going to get like, 15 to 20% HP damage up, which is still decent. Now the LD is going to put 10 stacks on. So with 10 stacks, you're going to have just immediately 30% HP damage up. And then until that ticks down below 6, then you're still going to be getting that. So I actually do like it because you can toss this LD down and have HP damage up. So I really like that. And then the other thing it does is while this debuff is above 6 stacks or 6 stacks or higher, any fire damage that enemies take will be rainbow damage. Now, that part of it isn't as good as the call because the rest of your party might not be doing fire damage, but when Neon's in the party, they will be doing fire damage, which is going to ensure the rainbow numbers, which is really good. But I do see use for the call just purely for the HP damage up part of it. I do think that's pretty good, right? So let's go ahead and look at Neon herself here. And I don't have artifacts yet, but here's the thing with Neon that I'm going to say. Neon is one of those characters that I don't think you would do that. So traditionally with a damage dealer, you want like attack and brave damage up. But with Neon, I would say you could stray away from that. The reason why is Neon is, for the most part, going to be hitting rainbow numbers. If you're hitting rainbow numbers, attack doesn't really matter. And brave damage doesn't matter because you're capping on your brave anyways. For those of you unfamiliar with rainbow numbers, it basically means you do maximum brave damage no matter what. Okay? So I think with Neon, you can forgo attack, you can forgo brave damage up, and just focus on max brave and I brave to help the brave gains and to give her more brave to work with to ensure that she can deal more HP damage. And because she's hitting rainbow numbers, the higher the max brave, she's going to cap way easier on that, right? So I feel like max brave is probably like her best stat. So what I would do is, and I don't have it to show you, I literally just ground her up. I don't have her artifacts yet. But what you would want is I would go max brave 330, and then I would do her C50, which is warrior enveloped and rage up, which is just going to give you a bunch of stats, right? So it's going to give you attack and max brave. So the reason why is you're doubling up on the max brave. I feel like max brave is her best stat. So that's what I would go with there. And then on the spheres, I feel like I've got a really nice setup for her spheres. So the A sphere is a really tricky one because normally those are loaded with attack and brave damage up ones, and that's normally what I recommend. But here, I would focus on max brave and I brave. So I really like Bart's because it is the single biggest max brave sphere in the game. So anytime Neon inflicts a break, max brave up 20%. Now, the bad part about this sphere is it can be a little bit inconsistent, because Neon isn't like an instant breaker or an unbreaker. So you can't guarantee that she's going to be the one breaking, but she's going to probably just naturally break enough that you will get this. Now, if you don't like the inconsistency of that, you don't have to go with Bart's. But to me, the trade-off for getting the 20% as opposed to 10% is worth the trade-off, right? Now, a more traditional sphere you could do is something like Lulu. And what I love about this character, this is a great place to use spheres that you normally wouldn't use, that normally don't have a lot of value. Lulu, I think, is excellent here because you're getting iBrave and Max Brave, which to me are the two stats that are worth investing into because, once again, attack and brave damage don't matter for her. And this is also a weakness damage condition, which Neon will always be hitting. She fire enchants and she imperils. She's always got weakness damage. So to me, Lulu, this is just like one of the best spots you could ever use a Lulu sphere, so why not? So some other Max Brave, iBrave ones you could use, Arciela, Terra, and Shantado. So those are other like less common spheres that I think would work really, really well on Neon that you could use. Now on the E slot, I always recommend Pain. On weakness damage characters. So Pain is going to be an attack down and a party attack up. Now you might be saying, Joe, well, you just said attack is useless on her. Why are you giving her attack? Well, the reason why is because it'll give attack to the party. And the party won't always necessarily be hitting rainbow numbers. There will be periods in the fight, even with Neon on your team, that the party won't be hitting rainbow, so attack still matters, right? Now, this could be a really good spot. I actually thought for myself I might put Ferris here, or something that where I could just do, like you could just do like a debuff aura of something she doesn't do. I think you could utilize a lot of the fun E-spheres that you don't normally use. So if you wanted to, say, do like a Fujin speed down, or like I think Tidus also has a speed down one you could do. I think Ferris could be kind of fun here, just because you would get poison with it. I think Thancred also has a poison you could utilize. I think the E slot, you could just have a lot of fun with that and kind of pick what you want. You could even go with, oh gosh, what's her face? Vanille. Vanille's has one of my favorite E slots. It's when you break, you basically dispel a buff. The problem with Vanille Sphere is I don't feel like this is the best spot to use it, because I'd like to put Vanille Sphere on rebreakers or unbreakers, because it triggers when you break. So I just put Pain here because I really, really like Pain Sphere. So I figured I would throw it there, still give myself the party attack up, and then the attack down. I'm getting a good debuff along with a good buff to the party, right? So with that, let's go ahead and hop into the showcase here. All right, so let's go ahead and begin. And friend unit, sure, we'll bring Selfie just in case. I don't plan to use it, but we'll have it up just in case. All right, so let's talk about a couple of things right off the bat. Neon is going to start with her overhead buff at 6, which is called Fiend or Fire. It is an attack up, Max Brave up, elemental weakness damage up, HP damage up, fire enchant, and then Brave gain after each turn. And the Brave gain is going to scale on the Fire of Rage debuff. So what we're going to see, you're going to see the enemies are going to start with Fire of Rage. It is a 3-turn debuff and it starts at 1 stack. This debuff is pretty much Neon's single most important mechanic. So you need to keep your eye on this Fires of Rage. You want to keep the stacks above 6 as much as you possibly can. Now this debuff is tricky to work with because it maxes at 5 stacks and you need it at 6 or higher. So it's like, well, how do you get it above 5 if that's the max? So what's going to happen, and we'll talk about it as we go through the kit, but each of her attacks will raise the stacks by a certain amount, but it will stay at that limit of 5. The LD is the thing that breaks the limit. The LD will allow you to exceed the limit and go up to 10 stacks. The other mechanic that this Fires of Rage has is it will lose a stack if anybody but Neon takes a turn. So when Neon takes actions, it stays, but if other characters do, it will decrease. So what you want to do is keep it above 6 or 6 or higher, because any fire damage the enemies take while it's at 6 or higher is guaranteed rainbow numbers, which is pretty cool. So we'll kind of keep our eye on that as we go through, right? So we'll just kind of go through the skills one at a time here. So let's start with the 15 CP, which is called Ashura. So let's go ahead and pop that. All right. Now this is important. Wow. I'm already impressed. We just did a mill on that. So here's the thing. Ashura is an instant turn rate ability. So what that means is, and we can click it again. This is one of my tips and tricks, by the way. Notice we have the turn order on the left, and you can see all the characters' turn orders, and see how Neon, her next turn would be after enemy A. When you click and hold on an ability, if it has high turn rate or instant turn rate, it'll tell you where their next turn will warp to. So if I hold on Ashura, you see her turn warps up to right after herself. Now, Ashura is a very important skill because if you do not have Neon's BT effect up, and we'll talk about the BT effect, but if you want to keep the debuff at 6 stacks or above 6 stacks, you can spam this because it's instant turn rate, and Neon will not lower the stacks on it. So that's notable there. So that was a fire attack, and dude, we got a mill damage on a free instant turn rate attack. That was pretty good, and we don't have any BT auras up. So I'm going to tell you right now, I'm already impressed with the damage I'm seeing. I've only clicked one button. So that is going to put Fire of Rage, and it did increase it to 6 turns, as you saw here. But it's a single target, so it only hit this enemy here. And it did add 4 stacks, and it's at 5 stacks. And you're going to see the letters are gold, because technically 5 stacks is the max, right? Now, what I could do is I could hit the other enemy. It's instant turn rate. So I can hit the other enemy with it as well. Once again, over a mil now. And now they both have it. 6 turn debuff at 5 stacks, right? So at 5 stacks, let's talk about the Fire of Rage debuff because it's so important, right? So this is fire resist down and HP damage taken up. So it goes 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So at 5 stacks, it's 25% HP damage up. If it's 6 or higher, it'll go to 30% HP damage up, okay? And then the target will receive rainbow numbers from any fire attacks provided it's 6 or higher stacks. So right now we are not getting rainbow numbers, okay? And then it's going to lose a stack anytime an ally takes a turn that is not Neon. Okay, and it can tick down during a BT phase also. So if you do a BT phase with another character, it can still tick down. So you have to keep that in mind if you want those rainbow numbers. All right, let's do the 35 CP, which is called Inferno. Okay, so that's an AoE attack. Dude, like almost 800k AoE. Like these numbers are pretty good, right? And once again, fire damage. It does increase her overhead to 8. So you can see her overhead went up to 8. We already talked about what that one does. And then it does 3 stacks of Fire of Rage. And that's going to hit everybody, right? So then you wouldn't have to do single target one at a time. You could do it all at once. But you'll notice the stack stayed at 5 because we're at cap right there, right? All right, let's do a little bit of ramping with Pinello here. We'll just do a couple of quick ramps, get all of her relevant buffs going. Okay, and then with Pinello, I'm probably going to ramp more later, so I'm not going to pop the BT effect up yet, because I want to wait till I'm done ramping. I kind of want to do a couple more attacks before we go into FR, so let's just do this. Garnet's BT effect I'm okay putting up, because I'm not going to rely on her to do any ramping, because she can't. She doesn't ramp. All right. So let's do Aquamarine. Okay, and then we're going to do the AA, and then we're going to get the BT effect up. So here's the thing. I want to see Neon's numbers now. I might pop that 15 again just to see what the damage looks like now with some BT auras up. Now notice, look at this. My allies have taken turns. Fire of Range is down to 1 stack now, right? Because that's the thing. If I'm going to ramp with like Pinello or something, we're just draining that down. So you got to be really careful with how you manage that. This is where Neon's BT comes in, though, and we'll talk about the BT. It's so important to her kit. Okay, so let's go ahead and, yeah, let's just do that. All right, so now, I probably should put Raijin on, because these guys can be kind of pesky. As soon as I see my Raijin call, I'm going to throw that on. I don't think on their first attack they're going to do anything. I think they're just going to, like, Brave attack me. I think we're going to be fine. Yeah, they should just, like, Brave attack here. Yep, we're good. Okay. Let me see. Has Neon got the Raijin call? I don't remember who's got it. We got Kurasami. No, we won't do that. We don't want to mess with any other enchanting right here. Okay. All right, so let me just see. We have BT auras up now. Let me do Ashura. Let me see what the damage looks like with the BT auras up. Yeah, 1.3 mil. Dude, we went from like 900k to 1.3 mil on an instant turn rate 15 CP. That's pretty dang good. Pretty dang good. And now we got the EX. So sure, let's hit Sword of Fury and let's see what that looks like. Okay, AoE damage. Okay, yeah, about 1.2 mil AoE. We'll take that on an EX, right? And it's instant turn rate. Dude, I love the instant turn rate. It's so good with her because once again, you can avoid those stacks from going down with the instant turn rate stuff, right? So she gets a free ability use now for the next 2 turns. So now, here's the combo you can do. Remember, Assura is free instant turn rate. So we do the EX, and now we can just Assura twice for free. And they're instant turn rates. And we can just do 1.4 mil. We can just deal a damage. I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm getting just excited playing her. She is fun. Her animations are cool. Like, fire damage is just, like, unique right now. Like, I'm loving this character. All right. So back to the EX. So she gets a buff called Entrusted Black Crystal's Power for 8 turns. So it is Brave Regen. In the Brave Regen, this is another reason I emphasize Max Brave. This Brave Regen does scale on Max Brave, so it's going to help that. Okay, and then she's going to get attack, and then overflow up, and then HP damage up. So very solid buff there. And then that does 4 stacks of Fires of Rage. So you can see the Fire of Rage now is back up to 5. It's maxed out, right? All right. So here's what we're going to do. I think what I want to do is I am going to pop the LD here. Do I want to pop the LD yet? Actually, what I want to do, I'm thinking about it. I kind of want to pop the BT first. I'm going to pop the BT first. So let's do the BT effect here. Because then I want to ramp with Penelo and we can demonstrate something. So let's do the BT effect. Okay. I just want to see what the damage looks like here. These enemies are going to get incinerated, by the way. I don't think we're going to make it all the way through a force time. Okay, so 1.2 mil, 1.3. That's pretty standard for a BT effect, right? All right, and then Garnet's going to be following up. So the BT, this is super significant. So we got the big AoE fire attack there, right? So this is a 10-turn burst effect. And so for the party, we have True Fire Enchant. Now, I've explained this before, but if you don't know what True Fire Enchant is, basically when you do a normal enchant, you can only enchant non-elemental characters. So Garnet in the party right now, she has inherent thunder and water attacks. You normally cannot enchant that. However, True Fire Enchant says, even if you have an element, I'm going to make you fire anyways. So Garnet is actually going to be dealing, so like when Garnet does Aquamarine Waterlight, it is actually dealing fire damage. So it's kind of funny. So yeah, that's the True Fire Enchant. And then Brave damage limit up, HP damage up, HP damage limit up. This is the big thing, though, that the BT does. The party cannot lower the Fire of Rage stacks. So watch this. Stacks are at 5, right? See that? Stacks at 5. As Garnet and Penelo take turns, they will not decrease. So now, if you're ramping or doing instant turn rate stuff, doesn't matter. The stacks are staying. So let's do our Fire Aquamarine attack. Nice fire damage there, Garnet. Okay. And then Penelo, now we're going to ramp to FR. I think we are going to. So, oh, sure, we'll do the intercession that's free. Oh, and you know what? I got to get Raijin up. One of these two should have Raijin. Let's see. Do you have Raijin? You do not. Oh, actually, yeah, I don't have buff slots. So, yeah, we'll get Raijin on with the next character. All right, so let's ramp. And then we're going to get Penelo's BT effect. Oh, yeah, we don't even have Penelo's BT. So that was only with Garnet's BT effect up. So we're probably hitting like 1.5 mil with her 15. Neon is pretty dang cool, I'm not going to lie. Okay. Let's do that. Do that. All right. And trust me, guys, I am not like a sales rep for Squex. Like, when I get excited about characters, it's because I'm legitimately excited. Like, I'm not trying to sell you characters. I'm just playing the game and reacting naturally. So, just so you guys know, I am not endorsed by Squex. They have nothing to do. They probably don't even know my channel exists, to be honest. Okay. So, we're done ramping. Penelo, let's just pop BT effect. Yeah, let's do that. We got to be careful because Penelo gets pretty darn strong. She can take over a fight if we're not careful. She can take over a fight. All right. Shout out to 92 people watching. 93 watching right now. You guys are the goats. All right. So Garnet. And notice stacks did not decrease that whole time, right? They're still at 5 stacks. Garnet, we can just do an attack and we're fine. Oh, no. Raijin. Raijin might be one of the best, maybe the best call in the game, actually. Raijin's so good. I mean, I could LD, but that's overkill. Let's just do Aquamarine. Fire! Let me attack you with my Fire Water. All right, now we've got Neon up again. So we could go into FR. FR is not instant turn rate, but I want to do LD because we haven't done LD yet. So we'll do LD, and then when we come back around, we'll hit up the FR, okay? The LD now is super important, and I wanted to hit it after the BTFX. So let's do this. This is called Fiend of Fire. Let's see what the damage looks like. And notice the rainbow numbers are popping out. 1.7 with Splash. And Garnet hitting rainbow numbers. Garnet hitting the rainbows on the follow-up. Dude, this is going to be the most rainbow numbers you're ever going to see. This is going to be the most rainbow numbers y'all are ever going to see. Fatal Dance with rainbow numbers? Yep, sure. Once again, rainbow numbers are cap brave damage no matter what. So if the enemies have, like, there's been enemies in the past where they have, like, they reduce all brave damage to 1. You just rainbow over it. Like, it's crazy. The thing is it's not as important as it used to be. But yeah, look at Garnet hitting rainbow numbers. That's how you can tell Garnet is doing fire damage, because you only get rainbow numbers on fire damage. So essentially what's happening right now, is the reason why we're getting the fire damage or the rainbow numbers is, look at Fires of Rage now. It went up to 10 stacks because the LD, so let's talk about the LD because that's the button I pressed, right? So basically it does a big attack. It puts 6 turns of Fire of Rage on all of the enemies, and it adds 10 stacks, and it can go past 5 stacks on the LD use. So it can go up to 10 stacks. So now that we have the BT effect, with that, we're above 6 stacks, and the stacks cannot go down while the BT effect is up. And we're true fire enchanting the party. So basically, while Neon has a BT effect, everybody's hitting rainbow numbers guaranteed. Right? So now let's go ahead and do Neon's FR. Now, her FR is basically for free if you have the right setup, which it isn't hard to do. Basically just use Neon's kit and do what you're supposed to do with her. And look at the fat rainbow numbers, 2 mil AoE on the Force. Okay, so let's talk about the Force now. So the Force here is called Firebringer. Or no, that was the BT, sorry. Double Runic with Stelis, right? And dude, I'm a big Stelis fan, so I like that. So big fire attack. Fire of Rage, it would increase the stacks by 5 if we needed them. You can see they're sitting at 10 stacks right now. They're maxed out. And then does 6 turns of that debuff. So here's the HP damage conditions. If you do a fire ability plus 20%, well, everybody's true fire enchanted, so the whole party gets that no matter what. Okay? Attack a target with a level debuff. Guess what her Fire of Rage is? It is a level debuff. It should be on all the enemies, right? Deal over 9,999 brave damage in a brave hit. Well, guess what? If you're hitting rainbow numbers, you're capping on brave, provided you have a blue armor in the party, an Ultima weapon, or anything that extends your brave above 9999, which should be very easy to do, everybody gets that for free. So basically, it's 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. It's 70%. But the thing is you can't mess up the team building in terms of like getting the max out of your Force, because provided you have her properly set up like I do, that 70% is for free. Everybody should be doing fire damage. Everybody should be attacking an enemy with a level debuff. Everybody should be capping on brave because they're doing rainbow numbers. Literally, you can't mess it up. Like, any character does all of these things. The only way you can mess it up is if you do attacks that don't do damage to the enemies. Then sure, if you're not actually attacking, you won't get all that percent. But let's just try it. Like, I could do a ramp attack, right? Like, I could haste Rumba. I still get the 55 from that, so I could still do that to get the base 55, but we would rather be doing an attack, right? So sure, let's Fatal Dance. Once again, we're dealing fire damage. We should get at least 70% here. Yep, 75. So everybody's going to get it for free. Garnet now, we've got Echo, right? So let's toss down an Echo. Do some big time damage. It's going to do fire damage. Okay. And this should be big numbers. Yep. 5 mil AoE. Okay. Now, because the enemies are literally going to explode pretty soon. I mean, I could Echo with Neon, but I'm honestly, I'm literally telling you guys, if I try to Echo with Neon right now, she probably won't get another turn. So I am going to go Burst Face, so we could just see Neon attack with her like Force effect up, right? So sure, let's do this EX. Because here's the thing. So when you're in burst phase, hitting the EX early is good. Because remember, she gets 2 free skill uses now, right? So now, in the burst phase, with those free skill uses, I can use the 15 and 35, and I can use them multiple times. If you use the 15 and 35 first and they go to 0, then you don't get that skill use back. So you want to make sure before you use the 15 and 35, hit the EX during a burst phase so that you can use up these free attacks here. To make sure you're not doing like an HP plus or something during a burst phase, right? And yeah, we're just getting big fat numbers here, all rainbow. Like, this is so fun. 7 mil AoE. Okay, yep. Now we probably should go back a little bit. We got 2 attacks left. We got to do the LD. And then we want to redo the FR. 11 mil, okay. We're up to 726. Yep, we'll FR. Enemies are absolutely obliterated, by the way. Dude, love that with Celis. Makes me like Neon even more. Toss a Final Fantasy VI character in there, and it's going to make me like the character more. 15 mil. And yeah, we're taking some poison damage. I realize that. That's just from the fight. I'm not worried about getting the HP requirement. Alright, so let's finish this guy off at about 800%. Now, this won't be like an insane like BT phase number. Like, we could go against Bahamut and try to do that, but like being the main damage dealer isn't her thing. Sure, 87 mil. So anyways, guys, there you go. There's Neon. Very, very cool character. I'm not excited about her because I think she's like a top tier meta character. I'm excited because she's incredibly fun. And it's extremely gratifying seeing that many rainbow numbers on the screen. That being said, rainbow numbers aren't going to be important in every fight. If you're running good teams with good team builds and good characters, like, you're going to hit Cap Brave anyways, right? You're going to Brave gain a lot. You're going to do good damage. You do not need Neon to succeed in the game. But is she fun? Hell yeah, she's really fun. I really like Neon. So you guys let me know if you like Neon or not, if you pulled for her. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.